This is going to be a great morning session. Welcome to the first Aspen Ideas Award live pitch. Today you'll have the opportunity of listening to 5 candidates who have worked really hard on perfecting their presentations, and they're going to be awarded, one individual will be awarded $25,000 to go towards putting their idea into action and returning next year to the Aspen Ideas Festival to present that progress report on how they've been able to put that money to use and how they've made progress. The Aspen Ideas Festival, as most of you know, has a very rich history in bringing people together, thinkers and visionary practitioners, for open conversation on the toughest, most intractable issues in society, looking to find common ground to find viable solutions to those challenges. But you know, the great challenge and opportunity is bringing those ideas to light, bringing those ideas to expanding reaches beyond here in Aspen, and moving thought to action. This year, the festival, at the encouragement of Walter Isaacson, embraced collaboration and innovation by inviting all scholars and presenters to participate in the inaugural Aspen Ideas Award. Developed with Booz Allen Hamilton, the award recognizes ideas and programs that exemplify how Aspen Idea Festival scholars and presenters are changing and impacting their individual communities. So we're in for a treat, because these finalists are the cream of the crop. Let me tell you just a bit about how we came to this process. They were the winners of the first phase of Ideas Award, a crowdsourced challenge that asked this question: how are you moving your communities forward? More than 23,600 people visited the Aspen Ideas Award website, over 200,000 times submitting over 103 ideas, with 9,766 votes and 1,369 comments. These ideas will be listened to today, the 5 ideas selected by the panel of judges and participant voters. Last but not least is Margaret Koli, HMP, transforming the world's leaders into entrepreneurs. Margaret.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here today, all the way from Nairobi, Kenya, and I'd like to invite all of you to share with us in changing the lives of people living in slums by turning poor people into entrepreneurs. Every day I go to work in the slum of Kibera. In Nubian language, Kibera means a forest. Previously a forest, today it's full of hundreds and thousands of people who are living in poverty. They do not have access to clean water, sanitation, education, let alone a path out of poverty. So at Human Needs Project, we are working in slum areas to build replicable, self-sustaining town centers in slums around the world so that we can give people like those living in Kibera a path out of poverty. The population of Kibera is just slightly over 800,000 people who are living there. The size of Kibera is 1.5 miles squared. I have not been to Central Park, New York. Hopefully I'm going to get to go there one day. But the Kiberan population can fit there. So what are we doing at the Human Needs Project? We're working with communities in slum areas, and together with them, we're building something amazing. We're creating a path for them to come out of poverty. This is what we have built in the slum. This is the Kibera Town Center. It hosts basic services and empowerment services. Basic services providing Kiberans with access to clean water, sanitation, and we're also providing empowerment services. We've pulled fiber optic internet connection all the way from downtown Nairobi so that people in Kibera can have access not only to the outside market, outside Kibera, but to the outside world, not in search of handouts, but in search of opportunities for them to build their businesses and also get access to decent employment. Right now, you have 900,000 people living in informal settlements. Some people call them slums. Sorry, 900 million people around the world are, 900 million people around the world are living in informal settlements called slums. And in 20 years, that number could go up to 1 billion, meaning 1 in every 7 person, if you look around you, would be living in poverty. So we're using business principles, targeting people who are striving to improve their lives, to create services and business centers that spin off other businesses. In as much as people like those living in Kibera seem like they're stuck in a downward spiral, slums are full of young people who are energetic, teeming with amazing ideas, and are willing, given the platform, they're willing to fight for their lives and grow and also improve the lives of their families. These are the different services that we have at our building. We are self-sustaining environment. We're environmentally self-sustainable. We have 1,000 feet deep borehole from which we can harness 480,000 liters of water. We have access to electricity, not only on the grid, but we have solar, biodiesel, and also internet, and also fiber optic internet connection, laundry, showers, toilets. With the money that we're pitching for today, we have those two pieces in set, the basic and the empowerment services. However, we would like hardware to buy computers, projectors, screens, so that people can access markets outside Kibera. We're also serving 40,000 people in the last 4 months, 40,000 people in the last 4 months having been open, and we need to keep track of the people that we're serving. The Kenyan government has also passed a law that with the construction boom in Kenya, every building needs to have solar heating. And so we would like to train people in Kibera to fill this gap in the booming construction market in Nairobi. So today, the coolest part is that this model can work anywhere around the world. And I would like everyone who came for the Aspen Institute to say that they've left this place and they're changing lives in people living in slums around the world. Thank you.
Margaret,
Yes.
I love your idea. And I'm interested in how to replicate it around the world. Have you thought about actually the mechanism for how you'll franchise this idea in other slums around the world?
Mm-hmm. So the construction cost of the town center itself is $1.5 million. And it has the capacity, looking at the different services, to serve a population of over 5,000 people a day. Right now, we have a footfall of 700 people, which is doubling every month. And right in front of our building, which is an exit of people from Kibera, we have over 200,000 people passing in front of the building every day. So when it comes to replicating this town center, it can be increased or reduced in size in any slum around the world. But it really is the local community that has to look at this template and also see its acceptability and applicability of that in that specific slum. And starting with a slum like Kibera, which is one of the most difficult slums to work in the world, we're learning a lot of lessons that we can apply in future in other slums, and slum dwellers in different parts of the world can also learn from each other.
Thank you so much. I've spent time in Kibera, and there's great need but great potential. It's very exciting to hear your idea. I wanted to know what the most important partnerships that you currently have are, and what other partnerships you might need to be successful, especially with this particular grant money. So you talked about the solar panel, training program. Are there organizations you need to partner with or with the government to get that done? And do you have those in place? It's a lot of questions, sorry.
Yes. So we're working with a local company which works in East and Central Africa called Davis and Shirtleaf, and they have a solar unit, and they've been working very closely with us to leverage this. And also the pump that we have in our 1,000-foot deep borehole is from Grundfos, who have solar-powered pumps that we're using at our town center. So looking at those, and not to forget academia, we are trying to partner with universities so that they can share that knowledge. But I would say the most important partner in all of this is the community.
I want to ask you about the word center in your town center proposal.
Yes.
And why is it one center as opposed to a dispersed area throughout Kibera or anywhere else that you want to scale? We have one of our great authors in America, Jane Jacobs, has said, that having centers is actually a bad thing because it concentrates everything. And what you really want to do is spread things out and create more kind of pockets of safety and well-being throughout an area rather than have it all in one place.
So this is a center because it's based on the human-centered design. Imagine if you woke up every morning and you don't have a place to go to the bathroom, and you have to walk maybe half a mile someplace else to fetch water. You have to go someplace else so that you can pay again to have access to the internet. This is a center because as a human being, you have all these facilities in one block, which is your house. Well, people in Kibera do not have these facilities in their specific houses. They have to get there each and every time they have to go. So in as much as all the services are in a centralized location, it's much needed to save time, to give them extra time to give them skills so that they can have access to opportunities. The idea is that in as much as it's located in one location in Kibera, the replicability of this building in different parts of Kibera slum, noting its size and population, is still possible.
Hi, I've also been in Kibera and love the hub and everything it does. My question is about what you want to spend the money on. I'm a little unclear on what the specific project is of this funding bid. And really, if you could choose to do one of those three things that you highlighted that would have the most systemic impact, which one would you do?
Of the three of them, I would definitely pick the first one, which is giving people access to outside markets and having us leverage, the connectivity that we have. And imagine Kiberan people being connected to people here in Aspen. The kinds of connections, the kinds of networks that they would get would really change their lives. And this is what people really need. And there is a return on investment on this because unlike lots of communities that receive handouts, the Kiberan people understand that they want good quality services and they're willing to improve their lives and that disposable income and pay for the services at the town center. They want it to be financially self-sustaining. Yes, we have previously received donations, but the Kiberans are taking this into their hands and they're saying, this is a user cooperative. We have good quality services here. We're going to pay for it so that it can be sustainable in the future. And the lessons that we're going to learn from this, we're planning on doing all this knowledge management and applying that information in future town centers.
Margaret, thank you so much. Thank you. Margaret Koli. HMP, transforming the world's leaders into entrepreneurs. Congratulations to you, Margaret. We want to thank each of our finalists.